All right, y'all, this is our take. This is Mark the moderator.
Banks.com. The game is the game always.
Leaf is only family. Brooklyn forever. Baby B. CP, let's go.
Give you the process. Yo, Ben, give me a shout if you need me, brother.
Now you want. I thought you dropped him off on Pick and Ave. That's not what you said?
Nah, he definitely. I signed the paperwork. Like I don't. Nah, like he of age now. I ain't got to pay no more support, but you can holler at me if you need me.
Yo, okay, so listen. I gotta ask this. I gotta ask y'all a question. I gotta get your take on this, and I'm going to bring it up how it came out. Stephen A. Smith said that said that Donovan Mitchell is the greatest Utah Jazz of all time right now. What's your take on
that? Are we really discussing this? These sports writers get paid for hyperbole, ridiculous takes that make no sense. I don't think me for a while now. I haven't taken that guy seriously for a long time. Again, I think longevity matters. Donovan Mitchell is very good, but he's not better than Karl Malone, who's like number 2 in the NBA all time. He's not better than John Stockton. Hell, at this point, he might not be better than Jeff Hornacek. I mean, you got to if he does this, if it's been like if we see another 7 years of production like this in Utah, Donovan Mitchell will go down as the best Utah Jazz player all time. I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that's a more reasonable take than what he did say. I just think it's a ridiculous take, and I laughed it off when I heard it. I didn't even pay it any mind.
I agree with Banks, man. It's ridiculous. I can't believe we even speaking about this. We say it all the time, man. Dudes say stuff so they could get reposts, they could get likes, they could get retweets, so people could speak about it, you know. But like, yo, Donovan Mitchell being the best player in Utah history is crazy because he's not even, is he top 5 at his position currently? Like, so to put him up against Karl Malone, who is a top 5 power forward, you know, however you want to put him, of all time, what, second in scoring? John Stockton is what, first in assists, first in steals, all time. Like Donovan Mitchell ain't do nothing yet to be mentioned. I don't even think he's done anything to be mentioned in Utah's top 10. And I can't even name you 10 great Utah players. You feel what I'm saying? Has he had a good start to his career? Yeah. But he hasn't done the things these guys have done. And, you know, I just think, honestly, Stephen A. just said it for the shock value. And he's getting exactly what he wanted.
Avery?
I got mad reservations with that guy. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like just this whole narrative of, first of all, we are so reactionary and prisoners of the moment. God, like we get so caught up in today happens, wow, this happens, that guy's the greatest. And this is where Mark's saying of, yo, can we stop throwing around the word great so fast that where Mark gets it verified for what he says? Could we please? The kid, y'all already know how I feel about Donovan Mitchell. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's trash. Let me be clear. Yeah, there's definite beef between him and Ben Simmons that I've had in the past.
There's no beef, bro. There's no beef.
No, there's beef. There's
no
beef. There's beef for that year. Let's stick to that year. Okay, let's stay the content. But anyway,
when the sophomore won the freshman of
okay, basically like Blake Griffin. But anyway, so I think the thing is with me is that I've always saw Donovan Mitchell as a volume shooter. Like he's just a volume shooter. He puts up good points. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he could ball, but is that guy gonna be the guy to get you over the hump? He's not Karl Malone. He's not John Stockton. I don't know what 4 years, 3 years, 4 years he's been with Utah that you can even compare him to such. So you could even say that. He's got highlights, you know, the game has changed. It looks a lot more sexy. Dudes dribbling the ball around. I get it. But please, let's not get ahead of ourselves and just start throwing out the word great and saying that, yo, he's the greatest Utah Jazz player. He said the same thing about Devin Booker calling him Kobe Bryant. Like, could we?
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. Go ahead, Banks.
Just slow down.
I'm just looking at this list and some of the people that we forgot. Obviously, Karl Malone. Obviously, John Stockton. What about Darren Williams?
Deron Williams.
Deron Williams. Andre
Karolinko.
Carlos Boozer. Adrian Dantley played for Utah. Hornacek. Pistol Pete Maravich played for Utah. And Donovan Mitchell is the best player that's ever played for the Utah Jazz.
But listen, on that same note, the same person came on and said Devin Booker is the next Kobe Bryant.
Well,
so now hold on. Let's give him a little validity now. Come on, Banks.
Broken clock is right 2 times a day. So
you think hold on, Lee. So Banks, you think Kobe Bryant? You think Devin Booker is the next Kobe Bryant?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. But Devin Booker's special, and he toiled for a long time in Phoenix with nobody paying attention. Everybody's watching now. Come on, Lee. Just shut up.
But
nobody's paying attention.
But Lee,
I just want to let you know I was paying attention.
Leave. Go ahead.
Nah, he's not the next Kobe Bryant. Do I see similarities in certain things that Devin Booker does that he got from Kobe? Yes. But no, he's not the next Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? But there's definitely, like I said to y'all earlier, when you watch him in the post, you know what I mean? I see Kobe moves in the post, off that fadeaway, just the way, the certain things he do in the post, off his mid-range. You see Kobe-esque type things, but no, he's not Kobe Bryant. So to say he's the next, no, there's similarities. He has to do a lot more before we say, yo, that is the next Kobe Bryant. Like, we looked at Kobe when he first came in and we said, yeah, we see Mike, but Kobe had to keep that going for us to be like, okay, boy, you are the next thing to Mike. You feel what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying.
And Leaf, let me say this to you, because that's a point being made, which I want to bring up, is this. Kobe Bryant was in Mike's shadow. And he looked so much, moved, dressed, did all these things like Michael Jordan. But he became so great that we got away from that and just called him Kobe.
Kobe, Black Mamba.
That's what it was. He didn't stay in Mike's shadow. He created his own lane, his own place, and now he became Kobe. And yes, he was, everyone said he mirrored Mike, but he was Kobe at the end of the day. I'm saying the same thing about Devin Booker. At the end of the day, it's not the next Kobe. Devin Booker be Devin Booker, because what you doing, kid, he is a special kid. He has the attitude, he has the energy, he has the temperament, he has all the pieces. Just keep being, but for Stephen A. Smith to put it out there as the next Kobe, I think that's horrible, because now if something happens, now what they're going to turn around and say, oh, he failed at being the next Kobe. He did it. Come on, man. We don't need that, man. Let him be Devin Booker.
Listen, man, it must be a Queens thing. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to say it again, man.
Okay.
D-Book. He's creating his own lane. He's creating his own lane. I like the way he pulls up to the game. He's pulling up in old school cars. He's doing his own little thing. And I want to shout out the light-skinned brothers that are having phenomenal playoff runs. Shout out to Trae Young. Shout out to Devin Booker. Sorry, Ben. That you had to mess it up for us. But, shout out to the light-skinned brothers doing their thing in the playoffs, man.
All right, Avery, go ahead, man.
I mean, my biggest issue is what Stephen A is doing. Like, I'm starting to see, I'm really, we had that whole Kwame Brown conversation, and I'm on record saying I don't like what Kwame Brown did in his response, but he's validating the things that Kwame Brown says about how these guys just come out, they say things for shock value, they say things without true sources, whatever the case is. I'm really starting to look at that, and I'm noticing who's puppeteering this, and I'm noticing who it's coming out of. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. No, he's not Kobe, man. Yeah, kid is good at this point. And I don't want to throw out the great there. He's having a good run. He's had a great season. He's under great tutelage with CP3. Give CP3 that credit. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about players can have an effect on another player, even though I got killed on the panel for saying that. But whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I've been doing this ain't new, son.
Yo, Leaf, you good?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, it's coming off like you saying, like, he's just having like one good season. Like, son been doing this.
No.
What
I'm saying is
it's on the big stage.
On a stage, on the success
he's
that he's had. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about a guy winning 15 games and scoring 30 a game. That's not as big news as a guy scoring 30 a game, and now you on the cusp of a finals appearance. You know what I'm saying? So there's a big difference with that. So now all I'm saying is, let him carve out his own joint, man. Let's stop just throwing these names out there. Yo, he's Kobe or he's this, or because of his affinity for Kobe and because of their relationship before Kobe passed. Don't do that, Stephen A. Stephen A, we need to have a conversation.
I think that's dope, man, and that's one of the reasons, man. It sucks that Kobe's not here no more. I think, of course, his Lakers losing, he would have been sad about that. But watching what Devin Booker's doing, he's been real proud to watch what this kid is doing. Not
just Devin Booker, all like watching Kobe's influence on the amount of young players in the NBA, man.
Jason Tatum,
a special thing, man. It's special, bro. There's a lot of players out here. Like Kobe was my favorite player. Dude was happy to meet him. You know what I mean? Go to the Mamba Academy and work out with him during the summer. And now to watch all these players flourish, man, I know he's smiling down.
Yo, let me say it now. Trae Young said a lot of things, man, about Kobe and the impact of Kobe on him. So you're 100% right. And that's why I keep saying I'm not trying to let this whole thing go that they're going to tear this dude down because he's supposed to be the next Kobe. He never put himself in there. He loves Kobe. He got affinity for him, but he's not trying to be Kobe. And it's a real disservice to him for Stephen A to put that out there. And pretty much what Avery put out there is that some things has been put out. And I think, Avery, I'm going to let you speak to what you feel is going on with the pundits and media, how things are spun. What's your take on that?
So I know it's because it's I'm a fan of the player, but so like earlier, Stephen A put out there that Ben Simmons, he's on the show live. Just strangely, I just got a text message. They took the topic is Ben Simmons. Can he be fixed? Whatever. He's lazy, doesn't care, and I'm like, yo, this is what we doing right now. Now, we haven't even discussed Ben's personal issues. I've never even brought it up because at the end of the day, I say, yo, you basketball player on the court, it is what it is, right? But my thing is it goes back to what y'all saying about Kwame Brown and what this validates what he says. Yo, I find it very hard to believe that ESPN would have allowed Max Kellerman to deliver that news about Ben Simmons. They would have never allowed him to do that. They picked Stephen A to do that because we as Black men particularly are going to accept it. We'll soak it in better. It's going to come better from a Black man that he's lazy. And yo, I don't care what nobody says. And Banks would have agreed with me. Yo, that's a racist dog whistle for Black men. It's a lack of intelligence, a lack of us wanting to work. And then Mark, you and I already know to say that a kid don't work. Yeah, there's videos out there, but to say that a kid don't work, yo, he worked. He just may have a mental problem. He just may have something going on upstairs that we don't know about. We joke about it.
Same thing. Booger did the same thing with Dwayne Haskins. They handpicked the guy that's going to deliver this message about Black men being lazy, quarterbacks not wanting to work, coming in. And mind you, he had nothing. He didn't get this from Dwayne Haskins or anybody arrested. He was just talking in general. But you're absolutely right. They picked. And
what's crazy, Banks,
because he
think about it.
Message about this is what Black people need to hear.
Yo, what's crazy about it, what they did with Stephen A, the wild thing is he's talking. He was like, yo, and I'm not saying this. This is a source. I just got this text message right now. No basis, no context. Yo, he's lazy. And this has been said about Ben before. He parties, things like that. This is not something that I haven't heard. But to say it on national TV right after he had the worst performance of his life, and the kid told you, they asked him about his free throw shooting. He said, yo, I think it's mental. Like he told you this. Yeah, our job, the media's job is to get at him. It's ratings. But for Stephen A, it's just unabated like facts. And then again today, so what happens today on the chat, it's highlighted. Yo, you got the picture. So he's lazy. And I'm like, yo, I'm not saying that there's not merit to it. I'm just saying let's be careful about framing black men as being lazy. It's nobody lazy that got to that point in their life. You say it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody lazy that got that far, G.
I want to give Kwame Brown his props for shouting it out. But Draymond Green was actually the first person to say it. Draymond said it to Charles Barkley on that TNT set and was like, yo, I don't mind your opinion, but it's the way you say it. You feel what I'm saying? It's the way you come off, and these people listen to you and they believe everything y'all say. And as black men, y'all don't understand. Y'all could hurt our pockets doing that.
But Leaf, he also said it is the way you influence the way fans think. You are influencing.
I just said that, bro.
But he said the way you influence, because the way they shape the narrative, fans run with it as if it's fact, and it's not.
I say it all the time.
And mind you, and I keep saying it, y'all, we keep falling into the trap. It's us that fall into the trap, and we got to stop falling into the trap, because the setup is to have, like Avery pointed out very well, to have Stephen A. Smith do it and run with it, and Banks, just like you said, Dwayne Haskins didn't do. It's like, and everybody believed, like if they was in the room, like they were standing at the time clock, watching them clock in, clock out. It's easy to throw it out there. It's the dog whistle, because let me say it to it feeds into the stereotype of what people our own think of us. So
but you know why these people get believed as well? Because a Booger McFarlane, a Stephen A. Smith. You guys are insiders. You are black men. It's easy to look at it and go, well, Booger McFarlane must know, because he knows the people that works with the Redskins. He's still in with these players. He knows his colleagues. He knows his peers. He must have an insight. So people that don't know anything, that don't want to look further past that, they're going to run with exactly what he says and run with that. See, black quarterbacks are lazy, because all these white owners and everything like that, they see Dwayne Haskins, and somebody else won't get a chance because of Dwayne Haskins. And it kind of happened to the kid in the draft this year that got drafted, Justin Fields. He started having all these stories come out about him because of what happened with Dwayne Haskins. All white quarterbacks, all white players, they get to stand on. If you're lazy, nobody else did not get a chance because of Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf was a piece of trash, and nobody else looked at the rest of the white quarterbacks because of Ryan Leaf. But any black quarterback that has anything attached to them, all the other black quarterbacks.
Can I just jump in there? I want to make it clear. I think what happened on the panel today when we was talking, I want to make it clear, like, I get it. Like, dudes was like, oh, you saying that because it's Ben Simmons. And it really wasn't that. I was trying to make a point of, yo, you don't notice this cycle. You don't notice who it comes from. You don't notice, like, who's the person putting it out there. Yo, if, again, I use the reference of, yo, I remember when Steve Young was on TV and he said, yo, everything I hear about RG3 is that he's lazy, doesn't practice, This starts the narrative about black men and black quarterbacks. You attack their intelligence. You know what I mean? Like it's like these real underlining, like, come on.
Wait. But Avery, let me say it to you. Some people don't even want to hear that, because they look at it as an excuse and not the dog whistle.
Right.
You see, and that's the sad part, because if you being real about it is this, you're not in the room. Just because Stephen A. pulled all of that off doesn't mean it's real. You don't have to buy into it. You don't have to jump on a board with it. You don't have to, you choose to. Let me say it again. And I gave KD props for him coming out, calling out Jason Williams, because again, he said, that never happened. But how many people jumped on Jay Will's side without even knowing? Because once again, this is the stuff that we jump with because we want to go against. And it's just sad the way we do. Ben Simmons, I'm going to say, has a mental issue. Markelle Fultz had a mental issue. You can't go from one city to the next city, shoot the same shot, and say that you had a shoulder injury. Yeah. It doesn't work. right?
100%.
But whatever's going on, y'all, we got to stop allowing these pundits to do what they do. Go ahead, Leaf. What's the matter?
I mean, yo, listen, I've been saying it a very long time, man. Like I said it with Carmelo, and everybody would say, "Oh, yo, look, man, you just sticking up for Carmelo when you just a fan." I used to say the same thing. We ain't dead. When they said Carmelo was a good leader, I'm like, how we saying he's not a good leader? Ain't none of us in the locker room. You feel what I'm saying? When I said Kyrie was the scapegoat. When I said Kyrie was the scapegoat.
Leaf, I give you props. Yo, you've opened my eyes up because now I do less of that, and I'm really going to say I had to wake up and see what's going on for really what it is, and that's why I don't do it no more, because I'm really learning more and more on how the system is set up for us to buy into the bullshit
and
against
Mark,
our
I just want to let me just add this too, because again, I said, and I'm on record, I didn't like the response that Kwame Brown had. But I understand what you and Banks was trying to say during the time. If you put it in context, what Kwame Brown was trying to say, like, yo, here I am, I'm sitting here, and you make it your business on TV, getting paid millions of dollars, right, to make a name off of me, and I'm just sitting here, right? So now here we are. It's like, yo, if Ben really has, let's say he really does have something psychologically wrong with him, yo, you're capitalizing off of something that dude has. And yo, remember, he never put that stuff out there about his sister Banks. I don't know if you know about that. You know, his sister claimed that his brother, who's his agent, molested him. Like, wow. This happened in April. Like, people don't know about that stuff. So it's like, I got killed on the panel because they were like, "Oh, you making this?" That's a real thing. Like,
but everybody on the panel didn't kill you. So,
I know. But hold on. Here's something else, right? So, like you just brought up the whole mental thing, right? And here's something that we did last year in the bubble. People killed, like we killed Paul George for his performance. But Paul George came out and said like, yo, I had issues being in it. I was suffering from anxiety being in this bubble, but we didn't take it serious. And when these dudes, and here's the funny thing though, and I was one to make fun of Paul George, right? But if that would have been a white person who came out and said these things about your anxiety and all these mental problems, it'd have been took more serious.
Kyle Korver did that. Kyle Korver came out and he got love. And he got love for
it. They killing her for that.
Listen, because listen, let's be honest. Mental health only attributes to one race that it works for. When it comes to us, mental health does not work. That's why when right, you get a serial killer, they can use the mental aspect. When us, we are murderers. It's a total different story. You can't use the actual mental angle. And sadly, we don't look at it the same way we should, because Paul George is a great example. He came out and said, but before all of that jumped off, that he was having mental health issues. He had to play through it.
And I'm glad we speaking about this, because I don't know if y'all watched the last episode of Up in Smoke that came out a few days ago. They have the Lakers assistant coach on there who was once the Cavs assistant coach. And he came on in and be like, yo, y'all got to stop believing everything the media tell you. And he used LeBron and Kyrie as an example. He's like, they never had beef. Their biggest problem was, yo, we got to learn how to play with each other. You feel what I'm saying? But they never had. He said, were they best friends in the locker room? No. But they were our hardest workers, and all they did was wanted to win, and they did everything to do that. But the media needed a story, and people is going to run with it. And he said, we're so locked into the season, ain't nobody even worrying about trying to dispel these rumors. But that's where, Mark, what you just brought up, that's why I like what KD does. And everybody shits on KD when he does it. But I like that he killed those stories right away.
That's what I said. But you're going to have those that's going to go on the other side, because they don't like him. He's soft, he's sensitive. But if we go back to The Last Dance, remember that episode where Mike said, yo, I read an article about what they said about me in one city, and it bothered me. But guess what? There was no social media for you to go out there and speak about it. So it's more easier for dudes to speak. But we're so in this mindset, if an athlete defends himself, oh, he ain't tough, he's sensitive. Oh, yo, back in the days, they never did that. No, I'm going to use Banks. Banks always say this. Dudes ain't have that platform.
Yeah.
But yo, listen, let me say it, and we have to end it. I'm going to say this. Unfortunately, we wouldn't pay attention until somebody hurt themselves. And that's when we wake up, and that's when we pay attention, you know. And it's sad that it has to come to that, and it shouldn't, because, a lot of times, like, right now, like I said, I feel for Ben Simmons' parents, that they have to listen to all this stuff being said about their child. That's crazy, man. Because at the end of the day, you can tell it's not physical, it's mental, and his career is in jeopardy behind it. So I hope that he can get it fixed. And let's see, y'all. But listen, man, this is our take. What's yours, man? We appreciate y'all tuning in. Peace out.
Don't listen to the media. Listen to us.